Indeed, this is the signature tune that introduces the voice that you often hear behind this microphone when it's 4 o'clock in the city of Monrovia, precisely on Tuesday and Thursday. Yes, it's Noutoua. That's the name I prefer you call me because the white man borrow name, I'm not too interested in it, but the one my traditional people give me, Noutoua. Good afternoon, Monrovia. Good afternoon, wherever you are, and let's enjoy the best that newspaper and radio can bring. Okay, that's good. That's good. My guess is just pointing out to me something very, very good. Like I said, Emmanuel, Moiba Keta Johnson is my guest today. He's the president of the CSA. That is the Civil Servant. You guys are union, I believe. Yeah. Association. Okay, sorry. Association. He's my guest this afternoon, and we'll be talking more about their activities. And precisely, I called him and I told him that look, I heard that your lawmaker had decided that to take 50% of their salary right after they retire. He said, my brother, it's also interesting to us who want to be part of the discussion. So he's here this afternoon. We're going to dissect that issue that really have to do with the capital building and other relevant things. So be my guest. While Fagin try to do the best he can to make sure that we get my guests on live online. I'm also already on your TV. Those of you watching us from America and Europe and other parts of the world in Asia. Well, Noutoua is back, huh? You see what they call Noutoua? No, not your business. You got to know what Noutoua means. Noutoua means so many things. So you want to have money? Go to this place. Yes, go to East Africa, precisely Kenya. You'll find I got some relative there. They call Noutoua, but they are not Gio people. Neither are they Liberian, but they are whatever the case may be. So my guess is yes. So let me see what I can just grab him quickly. It's my pleasure this afternoon, sir, for you to grace this platform with your presence.
I'm honored, and on behalf of civil servants across the country or public sector workers, I'm also grateful to be here this afternoon.
Okay, sir. Thank you for honoring our invitation again.
It's our pleasure.
Yeah, so I have few concerns, and then I thought that you could be the right person to drill us through some of those concerns. How is the Civil Servant Association, as we speak?
Yeah. The Civil Servant Association is doing quite well in terms of our own advocacy and our fiduciary responsibility given to us by our colleague just concluded a convention that we had in Ganta City, Nima County, for which I was again blessed by the grace of God with 5 more years to lead workers in the public sector.
Okay, that's good. Congratulations again for adding up another thing to your CV, because when you've been read tomorrow, say he was once upon a time, he was 2 times president. He chopped two times. With respect to, it's something.
We are humble.
Yeah. Okay. I'd like to keep the ball, rolling. What is the union position on? But before I go to the union position on what unfolded at the Capitol building. We heard in the grapevine from the grapevine the last time that the government had added something to your salary. How true is this story?
Indeed, $6 million was given by through the president's good gesture. As he said it on the pavement of the Capitol building in his State of the Nation address. And we want to appreciate the government, especially the president, for his magnanimity in this direction. But we are calling on the executive to do even more, given the fact that workers across the country, especially this current dispensation that we find ourselves, the economic current dispensation, life has become tough, and workers in the public sector, in the public space, actually find it difficult to make ends meet. Okay, I think you were quite aware recently when some of our colleagues from some ministries and agencies, were pointed out where demonstrations when all you heard workers wearing black, to speak against the low salary they were making, because as we speak to you now, prior to the president's pronouncement, workers were making as low as $40 US, with something lower than 10,000 Liberian dollars. So that's the current situation. That was the current situation. That was the situation that workers were faced with until the president came with this intervention. That workers. No worker should be making below $150 as provided for by the Decent Work Act in this country.
So it was true that the president, when he alarmed that it was not to his knowledge that workers were making that for the testimony kind of amount.
Well, he said that during his State of the Nation address that he was just informed that workers were making below that. But I remember vividly, sometime somewhere around 2018, we met with the president and we highlighted to him, the condition that workers are faced with in a country. Okay, so he, in fact, was upon that when he said they were going to institute a measure, to see, call the harmonization to see how worker salary will be upbeat, But since that pronouncement was made from that end, we did not hear anything in terms of increment until lately when he said he has just concluded State of the Nation address to the 54th National Legislature. He was just informed, about that. But that being said, or that be it, we want to hear him for that pronouncement, but we also ask him that he should go further, by even adding more, given the current economic constraint that we are faced with in the country. So if you see, for example, all the basic goods on the market, they have skyrocketed. Transportation is biting every citizen, including workers in this country. So it is a good thing, when some upward adjustment is made in our wages. So we are calling on the executive, especially the president's office, to not only the president's office alone, in fact, also the national legislature, because we met with the speaker sometime last month, and he also was generous to us. He welcomed us. We sat with him. He invited members from the Ways and Means Committee, especially from the lower house, to discuss the issue about workers' salary increment, and that we must also hear the speaker for us, and he told us that that is just the beginning of the many engagements that we'll be having. And so we are only calling on our government generally to see the need to have some upward amendment adjustment for workers in the public sector, because we are actually suffering.
But don't you know, somebody will say, oh, but Mr. Mobile is not being generous, because the fact remains that just in recent time, government gave fleets of cars, buses, I think 18 or 20-seater buses, to most of the agencies and government, offices. So why will you talk about transportation?
I tell you, look, let us stop politicizing, workers' concern in this country. Like I continue to say every time when I'm giving the platform, to speak for workers in the media arena, in the media cycle, I always say this: we are not politicians. We should leave politics with the politicians. Bosses that were given, we heard about them. I don't know whether your reporters or you have gone to various ministries and agencies to see the actualization of those. We learn, though we're not invited, but we learn that those bosses were taken to the General Services Agency for coding, and then thereafter to be given to various ministries and agencies. But I can't tell which ministry so far has benefited yet. We learn a bulk of those bosses were given to the Ministry of State. And some, of course, I think the General Services Agency is using it for LEC purpose. So I can't tell. Workers up to now, as we speak, workers are still trooping based on the meager salary they are receiving. Some have to go the extra mile by asking for a handout just to have themselves transported to and fro. So it's a challenge to us. So the issue about transportation is just being cosmeticized.
Are you telling my audience who listening to you, including myself?
This is what I'm just saying. I'm the president for the workers.
Those bosses that the government trumpeted that they have brought in the bosses to ease
it's not impacting. It's not impacting in no way. It's not impacting any worker. So I mean that's much I can say to you. I'm president for the workers. I'm touring from one ministry to another. I'm just telling you.
Sometimes see some of the bosses passing by, because whenever I'm driving, I see the bosses passing by. Sometimes somebody quoted with the Ministry of Agriculture, Ministry of.
What is happening is that some ministries themselves took upon themselves, like my ministry, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, are taking upon itself through the administration there to purchase some buses for workers. So some ministries have purchased buses for their workers. Okay. Before even the pronouncement came about.
Right. Because sometime back, I remember Minister Kimian donated, I think, 2 or 3 buses.
Three buses.
Yeah.
He has been doing, to some extent, he has been doing well in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Yes. Yeah. We've been blessed with some buses. Even before he brought the new fleet of buses, some buses were there commuting workers to and fro.
Okay, if you're judging the program, it's ABC Hard Talk, and of course, in studio this afternoon with me to dissect issues relevant to the worker of this nation, the civil servant of the nation, is Mr. Moba Keller. Keller Johnson, and he's my guest, and we're discussing issues relevant to the welfare of the workers of the Republic of Liberia, and he is the official representation seated here in the studio. Whatever he says is binding. Whatever he says is law and gospel. Trust me. So yeah, so that's it. He's my guest, and we talking about 10 minutes after 4 o'clock in the city of Monrovia. So if you just joining us, that's where we are. And I hope you are following, and I'm still asking the necessary question. Well, there's a publication I'm looking at. I'm trying to reserve my main question. I've got the main concern that I have. I'm trying to reserve it.
No problem.
At a given time where I'll be able to discuss it good, because I want you to really give me, your actual, analysis with respect to this concern that I have. But let's continue.
Okay.
Okay. Where are we when it comes to medical benefits? Okay, right. That's good. Yeah, you are you talking to your workforce, because you are the one that government depend on to put them to power. Are you talking to your workforce to be able to take advantage of this voter registration?
Indeed, we since the voter registration started on Monday, we've been making a clarion call to our thousands of civil servants and public sector workers. As a matter of fact, all workers across the country. Okay, I think you are aware also that I am the President General for the Liberia Labor Congress. Okay, yeah. So we are calling on all workers across the country, both private and public, to troop to the various registration centers, especially those counties are being earmarked for now, to carry out the exercise, to go and obtain their empowerment. And the voter registration, like I have done cleverly, I have done my own registration, and I think all workers across the country should obtain their voter registration card. This is our empowerment. Look, Joe, this election, we are not also taking it lightly. These elections are coming October 10. We have a stake into it. And we say this with no apology, absolutely. Listen, we are going to make a necessary difference in this country by electing people that we think will serve our best interest. And that's why we are not taking our voter registration very lightly. So that's why we are calling on all workers, including those workers in the private sector. Please prevail on your peers or your colleagues, prevail on your household, those at voting ages, to troop to the various registration centers to obtain a voter card, so that we too can have a major part to play in these elections coming. Because if we say supinely and do not do our voter registration, and we say, oh, that the people's thing, when decisions are made after October 10, you have yourself to blame, because this country has to move forward. Only by obtaining your voter or your empowerment, then you can make the necessary changes in our country. Other than that, if you say because you've been voting people that have not been delivering, I think there's the time now that we can turn the table around. Thank you very much for that.
Okay, now let me just take you quick over to 15 minutes, almost 15 minutes gone down 4 o'clock. Let me take you to this issue, excuse me, that have to do with the pension bill that was just passed by the senator and the House for that matter. And you guys are calling the president to veto this pension bill. I mean, in all fairness, the only thing the people write to, because after all, they are the people who making the laws and doing all of the thing and what have you. And why are you causing the president just added something to your own recent time?
Joe, I tell you this. If our elders will think the slightest that this country is in a hole, like I think some of the lawmakers have been saying, and this country needs resuscitation, they will not be making laws that will further plunge this country into abyss. And I say this There's a only patrimony that God has endowed us with on earth that we can call home. Joe, you and myself, we have traveled. We've traveled around the world. We've traveled to China and other places. We've seen how development initiatives have been moving those countries forward. Sometimes, Joe, if you travel and see some of those buildings, you just wish that those buildings were in Monrovia. Those streets, the road network, if you see those infrastructure development, you just hope that those things are done in your country. Then our lawmakers, we think the way they are thinking, that even if they are outside government, they will be receiving salary that will almost commensurate with what they are making currently, even though they will not be working. We think it is bewitching this country, and it should not be that way. Joe, if you look at the health sector right now, God forbid, if any of us pray with terrible sickness, and if you do not have money, Joe, to fly out of this country, you will go to meet your creator soon. So the only thing, if you look in the educational sector, the laboratories are all down. Most of the public schools do not have a library. Our children are just learning by imagination. So if our lawmakers cannot see the dire need to empower all of the sectors in our country and want to come and carve this type of law, especially those that we think highly of, the senators. You remember sometime last year, the evil bill surfaced before, and it was sent to the lower house. We call that house the junior house of the House of Parliament. And that bill was thrown out of the windows. You heard some of the lawmakers voicing out their outbursts against that bill. Then again, our senators will go back again in the same mindset to reintroduce this bill, and to the effect where they pass on it again, and they're thinking that they will send it to the president for signaturing. We are calling on our president not to affix his signature to it. It is evil. It is against the growth of this country. It is against the growth of the economy of this country. It is against us, our progress, the workers. What you say about civil servants that have been retired and they are languishing, they cannot get their pension benefits. They are passing up and down. Pension benefit as low as $2,000 Liberian dollars at this day and age. Some as low as 1,500. Our people cannot even get it. Some of them are dropping dead out of frustration after serving their country for those number of years, even from their youth time all the way up to the time they were pensioned. What will you say about them?
Now, Mr. Keller, let me.
And more to that, Joe. Not only stopping there, but our senators have bypassed the NASCO framework for pensioners. They are bypassing. That's why they are not even contributing to the NASCO scheme. This morning I was in discussion with the leadership of NASCO concerning the same bill. I'm told that the key proponent of this bill, Senator Vanny Sherman, informed them that the bill was only going to affect only 5 persons: the president, the vice president, the speaker, the pro tem, and the chief justice. But we look into the bill; it is covering all of them.
103 of them.
All of them, covering them when the bill is passed.
Okay, now I want to take into historicity with respect to what brought us to this point, where you've seen that it is so evil on the part of the present, 103, personnel at that other sector of government. Now we sat here, the late peace be to his ashes, Dr. Amos Sawyer, and the rest of the folks that we consider the forerunner of our democracy. They were given the opportunity to craft a piece of document to look into our constitution. You know, and I know. It said 25 years old man can go vouch for position at the Capitol building. 35 years old man can put a finger and say, I want to be president. Don't you think we were shooting ourselves in the legs, and today now the bullet now is into us and trying to kill us, and we're complaining?
You know what, Joe? Actually, I will not blame the crafter of those laws, the crafter of those fan documents, if the tenets of those documents are just but fun, it gives everyone the right, especially when you reach the age that we just talked about. Joe, there are other countries like Canada. Canada has a useful leader.
Mm-hmm.
We have useful leaders around the world. They are making good a good gesture for their respective countries and their people.
Do you take into consideration those countries you're talking about, the Canada? They have a very good, system from your infancy up to your young adult, your full manhood up to your old age. Things are put in place from one step to another,
Joe,
as compared to Liberia,
Joe,
where you see a 25-year-old man still in high school, a 25-year-old man still living with his parents, a 25-year-old man still struggling to meet up life. He say he can go to a house of elders.
Yeah, Joe, let me tell you one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Liberia is now at 170, I think 75 years, or thereabout.
Mm-hmm.
Liberia has given birth to most of the countries around the world, including Africa.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be a lazy argument to say a young man cannot be represented, a young man cannot be senator, a young man cannot be president or vice president. It would be a lazy argument. The argument here should be, do you have the will with the ability to change, to stand for a cause, to make changes to occur in this country?
But
listen,
are you taking into consideration the poverty-stricken aspect of
it? It is the condition, the decision our leaders are making, Joe.
That's what I'm saying to you.
Yeah, but the leaders have made the society to become impoverished, so that they will bear you. So that they see you when they park their car, you run to them, open car door, hold a bear behind them. That's how they have reduced you to. That's why they do not care with their decisions. They do not care about the public facilities. They do not care about improving the educational sector, so that their children, as they are learning abroad or some in good schools on the side, when they shall leave the stage, their children come and take. They continue to see perpetuation of evil against the common people. But that's why we are saying enough is enough. We do no longer want to entertain selfish leaders that will sit and just amass wealth unto themselves. Everything is just about them and not the state. Everything is about them. They do not care when they see potholes all over the place. They do not care when they see septic tank busting all over the streets. When visitors are coming, some of them travel from here to go and ladder in people's countries and see how developed the places are, even including our neighboring countries around us. Ghana, Africa Coast, you go to the places, you see the people places. Our leaders will come back here and continue to make laws that will plunge this country into abyss. We say it is evil thinking, and only West class can do those things to keep the people down and to rule them.
Johnson, do you agree with me that the house of law should be a house of elders? Because you call it house of elders, that people who have reached or practically drawing towards the retirement ages, well to do, who when he or she gets there, will not be thinking about how to ride a $90,000 car, will not be thinking about what trip to take to America, but will rather be thinking about the generation yet unborn, to include his children and the rest of the children that are around, to get them computers, to make sure they get good health care, to make sure they eat 3 times a day. Don't you think we need to put people of retirement ages over, because you call it house of elder? How can house of elder be having 25-year-old men?
Joe, as we speak now, there are people over there almost nearing some above retirement age.
Yeah,
you understand, or ages. Our level, what we need is patriotic leaders, Joe. We need patriotic. We do not need people, with master degrees. We do not need people with PhDs sitting in there. We need reformers. We need radical reformers. People, you can listen. Irrespective of your educational level, if you are patriotic, if you cultivate that sense of love for your country, for your people, whether you are a high school student, and whether you are just 35 years, once you are patriot, you stand for a cause. We should talk about people with morality. People that will uphold the virtue of morality. Those are people that will win in our house. People that will say, even though they are poor, but when they get there, we have some of the leaders there. They do not have money when they went there, and some of them they still struggling. They are there, but they are advocating.
You know the irony of the whole thing you're talking about. In as much as you want dedicated people, that you want people who are committed, who are patriots, but the people there are not elected by those of us who looking for patriots are elected by friends of Mobile Keller. Do you understand that?
I do.
That's what is unfolding in Liberia.
Yeah.
They are not elected by the people who reside within the community, but rather it's the friend of Joe Wandah who put him to the cabinet building. So he owes no loyalty to this nation. He owes no loyalty to you, rather to the friends of so-called Joe Wandah.
Yeah. So what we are saying from our own end, what we are saying is that these elections are coming. It should be void of just mere t-shirt wearing. These elections are coming. If we are to make sound decisions, if we are to see Liberia joining the committee, the civilized world, to become a nation that was envisioned by our forefathers, that will hold on to the mantle of development on the continent of Africa, then it means that your decision that you are going to make October 10th, it should not be based on this man that my cousin. You can't vote for my uncle. You can't go vote for my pa, or you can't go vote for my friend. No, it should be based on their manifesto and their platform, and how well they are to produce, they are to perform as based on what they are telling us. The person's capacity. We should look at them based on what they have done before. We should look at them, their past record. Joe, I tell you this: when David went to meet his brothers on the battlefront before confronting Goliath, he said his brothers despised him in front of Saul. But then he was able, when Saul asked him, young man, how confident are you? You seen this man all alone. He was born a hero. He was born a giant. Then you small a boy that will come and stand in front of you. Joseph. When David turned around to Saul, he said to Saul the qualification he had. As small as he is, while many his father's cattle, he was able to kill bear. He was able to kill a lion. So those are qualifications. Those are coming into power, or those that want to see changes, changing them. We should look at their track record, what they have done before.
You think the electorate do care to know about the track record?
But there's the call. We are Joe. We have to sensitize our people. Our people are not from time in past. They have not been voting based on issues. They've been voting based on how many bank of rent they can give me, how many cost of rent, how many cents he can put in. I think you've been hearing people in the community saying the election, the person that will give me money, that person that will vote for. And that's evil thinking. If you think that way as a mother, if you think that way as a father, then you do not love your children. Because the decision you are making is to give you, if the person give you $20 US or $100 or $1,000 US, will that stay with you 6 years or 9 years? What will become the future of your children? So that's why we should start educating our people.
Before we go for our commercial,
yeah,
I want to find out from you. You think most of them, I'm not too sure, government, that's the reason why they're looking for the fallback position?
Oh, of course. There's a scare tactic. They are looking for loopholes now where they will survive and they will be leeching on the small economy that we have. When our government struggle very, very hard to get money, to even think about other essential areas to upgrade, then we should think about feeding. For nothing people, and I said for nothing people because they will not be doing anything. They just sitting. The person just said at the end of the month, tells his son or daughter, go to the bank and get this amount for me, because it will be a continual process. Say for example, Joe, if the person is making $7,000 United States dollars now, that person is telling you when that bill is signed into law that 50% of that $7,000 every month, while sitting home, 50% of that amount, which is somewhere around $3,500, must be going to them, doing nothing. So what government will be doing now, generate resources, go to taxpayers, take our taxpayers' money, and just be feeding people that will be doing nothing, just be giving it to them. Forget about hospital, forget about school, forget about all the development. Just think about then after that, all of group again, all of group that will come when they sit down to you start doing the same thing. So it was so fun that the whole everything about the budget now will be just to be taking care of retirees, lawmakers. Just be giving it to them. Just be giving it to them. Just be giving it to them. When the country is still being sunk deep into abyss.
Let me hold you ready and go for my commercial. When I come back, of course, we've got some other big question to ask our guest this afternoon. The program is ABC Hard Talk, and my name is Joe Noutoua Wandah. Let's take this quick commercial break.
Gifty, where did you get the bricks you used to build your house? See how strong the bricks look.
I got them from Rovia Bricks. Do not tell me you have not heard about Rovia Bricks.
You mean they are located in Liberia?
Yes, Angie. Rovia Bricks is a division of Rovia Logistics Incorporated, and they offer a variety of concrete products for all your construction needs. They have 6, 7, 8, and 4 inches blocks. That's not all.
Tell me more.
Rovia Bricks have coverts for roads and well, cornerstones, Colombo blocks, yard tiles, sand, be it smooth, rough, and mixed. They even have red dyes for land filling and crushed rocks of all sizes.
How can I get to them?
You can locate Rovia Bricks right at the corner of McDonough and Kerry Streets on the Kakata Highway, Copper Farm area in Fendel, around the University of Liberia campus, or locate our head office on Randall Street. Call Rovia Bricks on 0777 874 231 or 0888 726 172. Email them on rovialib@gmail.com. Better still, WhatsApp them on 0777 874 231 or Facebook Rovia Logistics Incorporated.
I'm calling them right now for that my swampy land. No time to waste.
Ma, take it easy.
Listen to ABC Radio 105.1 FM.
I see the crystal raindrops fall, and the beauty of it all is when the sun comes shining through to make those rainbows in my mind. When I think of you sometime, and I want to spend some time with you, just the two of us. We can make it if we try, just the two of us.
Just the two of us.
Just the two of us, building castles in the sky. Just the two of us, you and I. We look for love, no time for tears. Wasted water's all that is, and it don't make no flowers grow. Good things might come to those who wait, not for those who wait too late. We gotta go for all we know. Just the two of us. We can make it if we try. Just the two of us.
Yes, there's the two of us. That's Grover Washington. He's there doing it for us this afternoon. The program is ABC Hard Talk. Actually, I wanted to give you something sentimental, but I thought my hand could lay on so far. Yes, of course, we want to remember the folks at the Global Logistic. Yes, indeed, the managing director himself, Teddy Edward Tappe, and the rest of the folks, the ones who say good afternoon, whatever you are in Monrovia or outside of Monrovia, because he's always outside the city doing some kind of morning job anyway. Teddy, I say afternoon, man. Okay, so that's it. Let's bring down the music and go back to our guest because it's about 25 minutes, making it just a 20 minutes more. We got to discuss in this issue. 25 minutes time, we'll be closing up this platform. So again, Keller, it's my pleasure to have you for the second and final portion for our discussion.
Thank you.
Okay, Keller, I was kind of thinking, does it mean that the association will be uncooperative just in case the president, do affix the signature to this draconian bill, if I will call it that way, from your end?
Indeed. And just before I answer that question, one other thing I want to tell you, the evil of this bill calls for is that it leaves more questions than answer. Okay.
What are some?
For example, if you say honorable retire, honorably retire, what's the definition for honorable retirement? For example, if you are defeated into an election and you are seated home, then you are honorably retired. Or if you just decide on your own, maybe after 1 or 2 terms, you say, okay, I will not go there, I will not serve any longer. So I'm retired now, I'm going to go sit. Is that what you call honorable retirement? So it leaves more questions than answers to us. So we think, even if you decide on your own that you're not going back again, you want to sit, and you consider retirement, why would you pay you? So what has happened to other workers? What happened to us? We would have working and have been retired.
And by the way, what did our labor law says? After 25 years of service before you be retired?
Yeah, after 25 years, in some cases, but it has been amended now, especially from the national end.
Okay.
If you reach the age 60 or 65, compulsory 65, you understand? Then automatically you are retired.
Then we're talking about young people sitting over there who are in their 40s, in their 30s, talking about being retired.
Being retired
and being 50%.
Thank you.
And not only that, but plus benefits.
Plus other benefits. Joe, if you see some of the retirees, my friend, Mr. Mator, okay, he's the president for the pensioners. The woman told us, he came to our meeting, he told us how his constituent members are suffering. Most of the old people are suffering. It's almost like the state has neglected them. Some since retirement, 4, 5, 7, going to 7 months, some 1 year, 2 years, since their retirement, they can't get any benefit. They are just passing up and down. Some have died. They are while anticipating retirement package. They are not getting it. You understand? So what we are doing with respect to the question you just asked is that we are currently in collaborative discussions. Okay. We are discussing with the National Health Union leadership. We are discussing with the National Teachers Association leadership. We are discussing with the MCSS Teachers Association leadership. And other, including other members in the health sector. We are dealing with them and we are discussing. Even some members in the private sector, some organizations, we are discussing. So it is a holistic fight that we are looking at. When the president comes back into the country and when this bill surfaces on his desk, we are asking him to veto it. To veto it outrightly. In fact, when it's sent down to the lower house, just how they send it through the window the other time, this time they should send it through the door and send it in a dustbin. It should not surface any longer because it's evil to the country. It is evil to us. If we allow this bill to go as it is and sign into him bill, Joe, posterity going to judge us while we sat over there and allow this evil bill to plunge this country further down into darkness. So we should not, all of us,
Johnson,
the honor is on us to allow this bill die naturally.
I want you to look into the camera that is facing you.
Yeah.
And the microphone that is just before your mouth and tell the Liberian people. It's a ploy by members of the 54th legislature to shoot the president in his leg since he's looking for second term, that at this crucial time where a pending election that he wants second round, you bring your such a draconian bills?
Your Excellency, this bill is not in our interest, it is not in your interest. We believe that this bill is orchestrated cleverly to denigrate the already low progress that you have made in our country. And you are going for your second term. We feel that this bill is another stumbling block to drive attention from the many things that you anticipate doing for our country. So we are asking you, please, do not efface your signature to this bill. When it gets to you, veto it and send it right back. We know to some extent you mean well for our land. You mean well for our country. We look up to you to please allow this bill to go back to its senders, because it is not in the interest of this country. Our people are dying from curable sicknesses. They cannot be treated adequately into various health centers around the country, including some of the very districts and some of the very counties some of the officials are coming from. Their own counties are down. Some will learn are dealing with ghost clinics, ghost hospitals. So please do not affix your signature to this evil bill. Let it go back to senders and let your focus be on your re-election. We are asking all other lawmakers with good intention to please, from the lower house, because we learned the bill has not reached to the lower house yet, to please send this bill outside the doors of your offices. Do not allow it to surface. Do not even allow it to sleep there one day or 1 hour, because it's not in the best interest of the Liberian people. How will you carve a bill that will seek to keep this country in total darkness? Most of the communities, LEC is not reaching there. People are crying for funding.
My community, I don't have water, I don't have LEC, I don't have better roads.
Water situation is still a debacle in our country. The road network is still terrible in our country, Your Excellency. And members of the lower house, this bill should not survive. This bill should not survive. It is evil. This bill is geared towards ganging the people against you, the lower house members. If you allow this bill to pass, many of you will not go back. And to those you senators that pass on to this bill, we are calling on all workers across the country not to vote for them. Do not vote for those lawmakers. Do not vote for those senators that are calling on that have crafted this bill that will keep us down, that do not have any interest in the Liberian people, that do not have interest in workers in this country. We are telling you, all workers, let us tell our members, this is why go for your voter card, go for your registration card, do your voter card, get your voter card so that we can get them out. They do not mean well for us. When they get back, another time we get any authority, I'm afraid things will be terrible. So we are asking you now, please, most of the senators, most of the lawmakers should not go back.
Are you also lobbying with the lower house since the bill have not reached them yet? Are you also lobbying with some key members there or key committee?
As I said to you, Joe, we are having collaborative discussion. But next week, we should be meeting. We should be meeting groups I just told you about, health workers, teachers, MCSS, and other members in the private sector. When we meet, we are going to consolidate our discussion. We are going to see how we can fashion our action, how it will be channeled. Okay. Then, if it calls for discussing with members at the lower house, we have to do that. If it calls that we have to go to executive mansion to prevail on our president to veto this bill when it reaches him, we have to do that. If it also calls that we have to go to the national legislature in a sitting to voice our anger against this bill, we have to do that. But that discussion again will emanate from our sitting, because Joe is not in the best interest of this country.
Why will you think that your current lawmaker, especially from the senatorial end of our governance system, would decide to craft something like this, knowing fully well that efforts have been made for JFK to come on par with, for example, Arico's, teaching hospital.
Okay.
Government is trying hard that the University of Liberia will come on par with Furby College, Regis Severleon.
Right.
Why would they not be thinking about, okay, you know what? Let's cut down on our benefits. Let's try to see how best we can augment the strength of the president, that we borrow something from outside and try to revamp our institutions that are virtually collapsed.
I think our leaders are feasting on our parochialness. They are feasting on our inaction. They feel that we are weak. and they can write on us anytime. You've been hearing a saying that Liberian team, the book can just discuss it 1 week.
Yeah, that's right. Especially with the journalists.
Yeah. So they are testing our resolve. They are testing our resolve. If no action is taken from this, from what they have done, then greater ones will follow. They will bring greater ones. Okay. So all we can do now is to amalgamate ourselves and see that we should nip this thing in the bud even before it can even survive. Because I think they are seeing us that we are weak, that they can round us anytime. That's why when we give them our franchise, because listen, Joe, the thing about electing officials into power is social contract. We are entering into social contract. You gave them the power because they gave you a manifesto, they brought a manifesto when they said they will do this, they will do that. So in that bargaining, you give them your authority, and which is your vote. You give them the vote, you give them the power. You expect them now to produce what they have said they will do. Failure on their part, they have defaulted already. Most of them now, you go into the various counties, they have already defaulted. Their people are crying. Go in and see the health sector into their into the various counties. It is down. Those health centers are down. I don't know whether Jackson Fiado Hospital is even moving effectively. We do not even know whether Cape Mount, the health sector there is moving effectively. But we always see most of our hospitals have become referrals now. They just refer you. They just refer as you come. They refer you if you get bad signal. They say you either go and find money and let people send you abroad, and you go for this and that. People are crying all on the radio every day. You are even doing well. Most of your platform have been set now to advocate for people. SOS call to make SOS call for people. You understand? You think if our health sector have been revamped, most of the SOS call that you are doing for people in this country will be that people will go easily to the hospital and get treated. That's why we vote people in. We vote people in not for their own satisfaction, but to please you, so that when you are sick, Joe, when you go to the hospital, you be treated. When the schools are well equipped, you send your children there. That's what voting is all about. Voting is not just about wearing t-shirt.
Yeah, but before we go to the phone lines quickly, I indicated to you earlier when I started the discussion that friends of Joe Wandah normally vote for him, to get into the Capitol building. It's not a conscious-minded people like you. Because conscious-minded somebody like you will sit down and have a second thought. Now we are talking about people preparing bill that is so draconian, to the survival of this nation.
Yeah.
Now those same people tomorrow will go back into the community, and say, my man, look, governor feels, pressing this, I got $1,000 share among them, and we are better driving and back of red driving and t-shirt driving. So how do we diffuse or disabuse the minds of these young people who all day long, I will say, my man, the man strong. How can we, as a group of people?
This where our level of advocacy has to step out. And we should not only be mere talk shops, that we should follow our talking with actions. In political science, there is something called tyranny of the majority. You understand? And you are right. Many of our people have become praise singers. They have become praise singers because they are impoverished. They are impoverished because our leaders have created that system that they will be down and just look up to them. Joe, your country is rich. Your country has diamond. Your country has gold. Your country has some of the funniest species of logs, timber. Your country is rich in all facets of its entirety. You get iron ore. Why are you begging? Why are you suffering?
I think it's almost 3,000 or 4,000 plus.
Joe, the coastline, the fishery. I remember vividly when our president for the Chinese Twin Scholars, Chinese ambassador at the time, invited us, and we're told that Liberia's waters contain some of the finest species of fish, but most of our fishes are not landing here. They have to pass and go towards Snigas and other areas. But Liberia still remains a hub of a fish reserve. Untouched reserve. Joe, your country has some resources that have not been tapped. This country has some resources that are not being tapped. The Ministry of Mines and Energy will tell you that. But go into our forest now. Our lawmakers are not concerned. Some of them in our respected country, you have illegal, illicit miners from different countries. They are there. They are destroying our forests. Our lawmakers, is that the concern of our lawmakers? The concern of our lawmakers is to see what is there for me. How do I get this done for myself? Me, myself. That's what our leaders have become. They really do not care whether we are suffering here. They really do not care when they have resources here that are supposed to go across fair share of the economy for everyone to benefit. They really do not care.
Indeed, you listen to ABC Hard Talk, and of course, when we talk, they talk hard, and of course, for the character assassination. So, okay, I will hope my guest rather than to be part of it. You can now call now on 0777 105 100, 0777 105 100, the orange line, and of course, I'll give you an alternative line to 07765 90725 or 0886 224 134. You can call on either numbers, then of course, you'll be part of it in studio. We're talking it hot here because even though sitting on the air conditioner, but the discussion is actually, getting heated and heated every minute and every second. So you can call now on 0777 105 100 and 07765 90725, or better still 0886 224 134. Call the three different numbers and you have your say. I'm here with Moba Keller Johnson. He's my guest this afternoon. He's the president of the Civil Servant Association of Liberia. And we're talking about the bill crafted by the upper house to be sent down to the lower one, of course, onward to the president for his signature. What do you think about it? We're talking about it. He's saying that it is draconian. What's your view about it? Do you think Moba is wrong? Let me hear from you. If Moba is right, let me also hear from you. So now call on 0777 105 100 and 07765 90725, the number to call. Can I get any of my technicians here in studio quick? Because it seems to be like this my lines are not kind of like giving me the kind of thing that I want to see. Okay, 0777. I'm understanding that I don't know what I still got problem, but let me just take a quick musical break. Be there, I'm here. Let me take a quick musical break. When I come back, then we continue from my end. So be there, I'm here. Okay, let's go quickly and take this musical break. When we come back, then of course, tell me exactly, then you'll be talking to me. So let me do this. Okay, welcome back. So now you can comment on 0555 105 100. Then of course the alternative lines are 07765 90725 and 0886 224 134. Or better still 0555 105 100. Call me now on 07765 90725. Or better still 0886 224 134. Let's hear from you, Liberian. What about I'm Monrovia? Yeah, Mama, while we're waiting for our guests, I think probably some other thing I didn't ask you at the time is fast spent. You thought that you could, add it to our discussion.
Yeah, for me, I think workers have to wake up in this country. If we, for example, we are not politicians, we know that. But if political decisions are to be made, I think we have to be part of that process, and we should get there in our all, in everything that we have in us. Because at the end of the day, it is us that we either benefit or not benefit. So we are asking that this voter registration, you take it very, very seriously, because it's boiling down on our future, on the future of our children, Okay, you work throughout, you cannot get anything for yourself, you cannot show anything for it. Now, like many of our compatriots have been pensioned and they are passing around, they cannot show anything. Some are staying in rented homes, some are forced to go back home in the interior to make farm. We say it is not proper. So these elections are coming. Just go to tell your household to go to the nearby voter registration center and be registered. And that's the only way you can make informed or you can play an active role in these elections that are coming October 10th. So we call all workers across the sector, public sector workers, private sector workers, to do likewise. We have obtained our power. That's the only way your voice will be heard in this election. More to that, we are calling on our national leaders, especially members of the lower house and the executive, not to allow this bill that our members from the Senate have passed on, to suffice. We believe it is not in the best interest of this country. Our leaders should rather be thinking on how they will ameliorate the already battered condition this country is faced with. We are asking our leaders to craft laws that will project the promotion of this country. This country is too much for us to be down like this. We have become laughing stock in the sub-region that we cannot move ahead. It is terrible. We cannot be 175 going to 200 gradually, and we are still languishing. We are still crawling. Okay, we are not handicapped. Our God has endowed us with resources. Our leaders will have to account tomorrow before the judgment seat of God. What have you done with the stewardship I gave you? We are asking our leaders that, look, we are suffering, we are crying. The citizens are crying, especially the workers. The workers are crying. We need better conditions. We want you to make decisions that will promote this country, that will put this country on a developmental path.
Okay, Johnson. Time is fast spent. It seems to be I'm having problem with my lines. Or I know a lot of people want to call through, but I don't know whether it is technically from here or it is the network problem from outside. But whatever the case may be, I want to say thank you again for taking the time off your busy schedule to grace this platform with your presence.
My pleasure, and I want to thank the ABC family for always providing a platform for civil servants view for workers concerned, not only civil servants alone, but workers across the country. I want to say thank you for always giving us that platform to hear to air our concern and our views. Thank you very much, and you shall forever remain partners to us. Thank you very much.
The voice of Moeba Johnson Keller. He's the president of the Civil Servant Association of Liberia. But let's take the quick break. When we come back, yes, we'll be discussing other issues here while we see what we can get our other guests. Okay. Let's see what we can do here now. Let's see. We actually it's 5 o'clock or 2 minutes after 5 in the city of Monrovia and ABC Radio. Yes, indeed. I have on the line this afternoon. My second guest, by way of introduction, is Ipe Blackie. Blackie is for the Unity Party, and precisely, I call him on a short notice. I said, "Look, my man, I'm hearing a lot of things with respect to your, party, and precisely with the issue that had to do with Henry Costa and that of your Senate bearer." So he said, "Oh, with pleasure, I mean, I would want to be part of the discussion." So based on that, I had decided that we started. Eva, it's my pleasure. You are live in studio this afternoon on ABC Radio.
Well, thank you, Joe.
Oh. Yeah, I'm listening. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, thank you for having me this afternoon. It's my distinguished pleasure to be on the radio, the ABC radio, and I want to thank the management and all of you who are ably representing Liberian people, that are entertaining, educating, and informing the Liberian people appropriately. I think you guys are doing quite a wonderful job at the radio station, and we are proud of all of you. So thank you for having me. It's a very good and lovely day in our country. As
Yeah. Okay.
as we speak right.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead.
As we speak right. Well, I want to start on a very sad note. Regarding the tragedy that hit our country yesterday. Just between the rehab and Tinkers, we witnessed a very tragic incident that took away precious lives of
Okay, Ebe.
Yeah.
The line is kind of like breaking. Let me make it direct. And just be patient. Let me make it direct. Then of course I will talk to you. Then don't leave the line. Just remain there. Remain on the line. I don't want to make it direct. Yeah, make it direct. Then I can talk to you. Because you keep breaking in. Okay, I guess you're hearing me now. It's much better. Okay.
I'm hearing you good.
Okay.
I'm hearing you very well.
Let's go ahead. Now you are live. Go ahead.
Well, thank you. Like I was saying, I'm very, very, very happy to have me on your widely listened to network, ABC Radio, and I want to thank the management and all of you that are contributing to the growth, the stability of our country. I want to greet those who are following us this afternoon, depending on location. So we want to say good evening, good morning, good afternoon. On a rather sad note, I'd like to begin this conversation. A tragedy hit our country yesterday, where precious lives, Liberians lost their lives yesterday. On the Robertsfield Highway that's between the rehab and the Tinkers Village. In between there, we witnessed a very tragic incident from a truck that lost control and then began hitting, other cars, including keke, that people burn. My heart goes out to the family, the bereaved family of those who lost their lives. We want to see with them that our prayers are with them. We are mourning their loss equally. And we are calling on the government to declare a day of mourning, for those precious lives. There are people who even registered to vote. After 1 or 2 days, they met their untimely death. There were people who told their parents or their friends that they were going out to turn. The keke riders told their family that we are going out to hustle to come back. But they came back in different. We want to extend our deepest sympathy, in fact, our empathy to the bereaved family for the life, that has been taken away. So Just another very, very short note.
Yeah, I know that,
I want to
Abel. So
just
before we transition to our discussion, and I want to know from you, you think we are doing ourselves wrong in this nation by allowing defective vehicle to plow our streets, where on a monthly basis or yearly basis we pay for vehicle, licenses, documents, and the police and the Ministry of Transport only there to check for license and that of a car document, but not a roadworthiness of the car. You think we are shooting ourselves in the legs every now and then?
Well, I don't think so. I know so. This is one of the reckless, part of our existence as a country. When the things that we're supposed to do cannot be done. But brother, this whole country is unregulated right now. The whole country is unregulated. The whole country. Because come to think about it, there is no law and order in the country. Anybody does whatever pleases him or her. Nothing happens. If a lawmaker can drive a vehicle with a license plate both at the front and the back, then what you're talking about, the common man. Forget about the Ministry of Transport. Just forget about that. There's no regulation in this country. It's sad to say, and it is not just unique to this country. To this government. The country is unregulated. It has gotten worse under this regime. Yes, there were semblances of things of such like they happening, but the Congo say worse. It has gotten worse under Mr. George Weah, the ex-soccer football star, where you never have motorcyclists, tricycle running. Today you have them all over no-go zone everywhere. If tricycle can drive from all the way Yellow Junction to the airport and from Yellow Junction all the way on Broad Street. Nothing is regulated. So we are doing more harm than good to ourselves in this country. See where the marketers are selling. People leave the market and they come on a quota to sell. Can you imagine that? We civilized country, you see these things happening. Today on the Robertsfield Highway at Boston Junction, you know that place, the marketers the market. They came right on the road, the taxi drivers on the road, the motorcyclists, everybody on the road. That is another trap, another danger. Should any car loses control over there, it's going to be a disaster again. Similar thing happened at the VOA Junction where you got that market on the road.
Yeah, the VOA market, right.
A Jeep
right.
left, a Jeep left the road.
Yeah, veer off the road, that's right. Yeah.
Morning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I saw it.
Sunday morning, imagine you slept with your husband, with your children, and you went in the morning to bar just to bring a damn news to you. Our people are very difficult to learn. We are stubborn in this country. So it's a serious problem. I don't know what set of people Liberians are to leave the market and come on the road. I don't know if we do not bring the market, the motorbike, the taxi on the road, it means that those market and the taxi drivers and the motorcycle, it means they are not good. I just
and Abel, frankly speaking, most of the young people we see today, they were all born in refugee camp. If my information may be correct, and they saw the uniqueness of the traffic, layout in Ivory Coast, in Guinea, in Sierra Leone, and that of Ghana, Nigerians as well, where they got people concentrated in this area for transport alone, and no other person go there besides transportational car. That way you go and stand in queue. While they came back home, and the whole place, even I agree with you that we are not regulated to a larger extent, but we saw all of those things. I was like, why are we just still being what we are and thinking that it's normal?
Look, my brother, in a society where there is no punitive action, nothing will be straight. You bring it back to your home. If you the father coming home with your trouser hanging on your butt and you face the drunk, your wife is indecently dressed.
Yeah.
Coming home 1 o'clock. When you think the children will
with
come?
With miniskirt on, skin tight.
In the morning. They will come on 3. So if human being naturally we are corrupt and very stubborn. So you need laws to govern human being. You think you don't have reckless people in America and other countries, but they got laws. They got laws. We need laws and we need to implement the laws. We got good laws on the book, Joe. Our problem here, our reckless inability to implement those laws. You know why? Because the lawmakers themselves are the law breakers. The president, the senators, the representatives, the ministers, the directors, they are the breakers of the laws. Absolutely. You find a car that is owned by a government official, no license plates, and he's planning the various streets. What do you think the ordinary man would do? So the thing here is not about even traveling. The government officials that go and travel and see good things outside the country and they come by, they behave the contrary. So the way you want to talk about that. So our problem here, you need total and a benevolent and a democratic marriage together leader to lead this country. You don't need a diplomatic leader in Nigeria, Joe. You need a ruthless leader to lead this country. In 1 year, my brother, 2 years, the country will be straight. You need somebody who will tell you, say, move or be removed. You need somebody who will collect somebody for stealing public money and you are jailed and your property are confiscated. You need somebody who will implement the law to the letter. You need that leader. Sadly, we don't have that leader yet. So the thing here about going in other countries, seeing the uniqueness of other countries, and coming back to your country and doing the contrary, you just need strong leaders with courage to punish people. No, Joe, it's not going to be 100%. But when people are punished severely for their actions, their stewardship, this country will move somewhere. This country will move somewhere. So we are far behind. We are lacking behind in almost everything because this country is unregulated. It's a lawless country. I hate for people to say this is a country of rules. This is a country of law. That's lie. At Carroll's Bay, recklessly went on the university campus and caused havoc. People's property were destroyed and stolen. People got victimized. Carroll's Bay is walking around free. And innocent students were arrested and placed behind bars. What you want to talk about that? So there's no law. There's no law. The president himself has violated the Constitution, the laws of our country. The lawmakers themselves have violated the laws of our country. So when you think nothing is happening, the code of conduct has been recklessly violated. Nothing is happening in the country. The president leaves the country for more than 50 days, and the people that are supposed to ask the president the hard question, they themselves are reckless in their activities. So who's going to be held responsible? No, we need a whole new generation in terms of governance, in terms of character, in terms of courage to move this country forward. Joe, this country is badly wounded by our attitude, especially those in power.
Okay.
So we have a long way to go.
Yeah, this country is badly wounded, but I was soft. Okay, now let's go to the meat of the day in terms of the discussion that I thought that I engaged you for this morning. Now, within your party, we've been reading on pages of newspaper, better still on the internet concerning Custard and your political leader. I mean, please drive us through what is unfolding on our side.
Thank you. I'm not even going to waste time much on this thing yet. You know what is happening on the social media in some corners around the corridors of our capital city, and by extension, the country, is a distraction. It's just a propaganda. You know, it's a distraction. It's a propaganda. Let me tell you, look, the selection for the running mate to the icon of integrity in Liberia, former Vice President Joseph Yuma Boakai, has narrowed down to two pressing. And in the not too distant future, the president and the former vice president will be announcing. Of course, it is the prerogative of the nominating power to nominate or to select his running mate in consultation with the political party he belongs to and other stakeholders, because the party also has a say in who becomes the running mate to the former vice president, who's the standard bearer of the ruling unity party. In as much the burden of nominating the running mate lies with Joseph Boakai, but Joseph Boakai is also holding consultation, political negotiation and consultation for the purpose of selecting. There has been a vetting committee that was set up, to scout men and women of character, men and women of knowledgeability, people who have knowledgeable, issues, people who are knowledgeable about the governance of our country. And those people have not even considered our brother Henry Costa. Henry Costa is not part of that list. What you see happening is a distraction. It is a propaganda that you see on the social media. Let me tell you, look, honor our laws. Henry Costa is a Liberian. He has the right to aspire to be whatever he wants. No one can take that from anybody. It is his right to be whoever he wants to. It is his right to even suggest that he wants to be president in our country, because our laws are clear. Article 13 of our Constitution says if you want to be senator, you must be 30. And if you want to be a representative, you must be 22 and above. President, 35 years. So Henry Costa is more than 40 years. He has the right to aspire. But what is very important here, our country has come a long way. The vice presidency is a very serious position. It means you are one step away from the presidency. Joseph Boakai will never nominate or select Henry Costa. Even if Joseph Boakai won a youthful exuberant. You got to even think the joining of a vice president. Though you know where Joseph Boakai came from to reach to where he is. You think about the joining of Boakai. Think about the joining to reach to where he is. Think about the joining of our current vice president, Dr. Howard Taylor. Think about the joining of late Harry Fumba Monba. Think about the joining of the late William Albert Torba. Think about the joining. To be a vice president, you can't just fall from the blue sky. There are procedures. Besides being a procedure, there are criteria. You must be knowledgeable about the governance of our country. You must be mature. You must have worked. You must have served. You must have committed yourself to the purpose of governance and leadership in our country. Where has Henry Costa worked? Henry Costa has not even become or even served in any director position anywhere, on planet Earth. Not to look down on him, he's a fine gentleman. We appreciate his contribution to our democracy in our country. But Henry Costa is far from the selection of a running mate to Joseph Boakai. He's very far from there.
But one will be wondering what did he get the courage from to come and start malign people character, calling people killers, they are human parts, seller and what have you. What did he get the courage from?
Well, you see, he will have to prove that. I don't know why he said what he said. My portion here is to just give a disclaimer that Henry Costa is a fine gentleman, but he's not part of the nomination list. He's not considered for such role. Like I told you, the joining to a vice president is not an easy journey. I just told you, you look at the journey of Joseph Boakai, see how far he has come. The role of a vice president has even become more complex and essential at this time. You understand? So it is not an easy thing. Costa is inexperienced. We're already talking about Mr. George Weah, who lacks managerial competence. He's very inexperienced. So we ourselves cannot be bringing an inexperienced president yourself as the vice president, because you come to think about it, in an event where the vice president is disabled, or the president is disabled, or he cannot no longer continue as president, the next president is the vice president. So you need an experienced, well knowledgeable president to lead the country. You know, when Tobot was elected, Tubman died in 1971 in the London hospital. And the late William Richard Tobot was in Bon County on his farm. He has served William Vakanara Shadrach Tubman for 19 years. You come to think about it, as vice president, he was learning. So when Tubman died and he called William Ara Tobot, there was not much problem. He fit into it because he learned for 19 years. Besides becoming the vice president, he served in other capacities. So 19 years as vice president was not an easy journey. 12 years as vice president for Joseph Boakai was not an easy journey. Serving as Minister of Agriculture, serving as Managing Director for LPMC was not an easy journey. Serving as head for YMCA was not an easy journey. So those were distractions. You understand? So if you ask those of us who are members of the Unity Party, Mr. Henry Pedro Costa is a fine gentleman, but he has not been considered by JMB. JMB and all of us in the Unity Party appreciate his contribution. But I think the issue of a vice president is critical. We have encouraged our brother to grow a little bit. We have encouraged our brother, to move a step further. The issue of vice president, cannot be attributed to him right now, because that is a dedicated position. Imagine, it comes with a lot of responsibility. You must have leadership ability, because in most instances, you're going to be consulted by the president. You're going to represent the president to make key decisions. You're going to preside over the Senate. So you don't need somebody who, with less experience, who does not understand governance, because you want to preside over the Senate. You need expert knowledge. You need mature knowledge to preside over 30 men and women, for the growth of our country. So the VP position is not a ceremonial position, as some pundit may be thinking, or may have it at the back of their mind. It is a very technical position that requires vast knowledge, hands-on experience, managerial, and a serious competent. You will have an intrapersonal, authority. I don't think Costa fits in that.
Okay.
It does not come around a perimeter for now.
Okay.
So we cannot be discussing, or even be discussing Costa around such perimeter is injustice. It's an insult, to the names that have been nominated and other names that have never even been nominated. You understand? So Brother Costa has contributed. We appreciate that. But he's far, very, very far from being Liberia's vice president. It is an insult, and he's inexperienced, and that's not going to happen. No one hates Costa. No one is envious of him, because we all, are made with our different uniqueness. So if JMB has, over the years, sacrificed 12 years in different roles, one as vice president, other one as managing director, minister of agriculture, a different role, and even serving as a deacon in one of the oldest churches in our country, the Everett Baptist Church. It tells you the journey to that position is very significant.
Okay, I want to say
so the backlash will be very, very. The backlash will be very, very, very negative to Joseph Boakai even attempt naming Henry Costa as his running mate. It's going to be a catastrophic backlash.
I want to say thank you for that clarity, because we as the institution were actually concerned too. So I thought to get that from one of the stars of your party, and that is you, who are given that clarity to us. So I want to thank you. Any other thing that you thought that I didn't ask and you thought to pass it on while you close up?
Well, I want to say to the public, Joe, Liberia is in danger. Liberia is in danger. We want to call on the citizens of our country. We want to call on the citizens of our country to reject Mr. George Weah, the current president, and the CDC.
Why should they reject him? I mean, the CDC had done their part. Why should they? I thought you should be, because you want the seat. I thought you should be now trying to convince Liberians that XYZ, because the people already enjoying. They enjoy him though. Trust me.
The people not enjoying you.
They enjoying you. Trust me. If I open the line just now, if I open the line just now and say,
your microphone down, when you take your microphone down one side, because the people will stone you when you go there to say the country is enjoyable and everything.
Trust me. You still got that hard. You still got that high love of the CDC headed by the President Weah. No matter what. No matter what. They are there.
Even Satan in his recklessness got people. Because Satan does not want to go down alone.
Well, the best I think we all should be looking up to is come the 10th day of in the month of October.
Yeah, but the Liberian people are resolved. Let me tell you, in 5 years, George has borrowed 1.2 billion. Where is the dividends? The only dividend you see is the non-street resident of Mr. George Weah.
So when you look at the roads, they want you riding on and going to your house. The invisible park. What you make all of those things? The hospital up in Babolu. All of those connectivities in terms of roads.
What you call invisible park? That is a glorified playground. It's even wrongly situated. That glorified playground is wrongly situated. You're talking about 1.2 billion on a 5 year. Then you're talking about something that costs 100,000 to food the Liberian people. That playground, you're talking about 100,000. So let me tell you, President Sally spent 12 years and she borrowed 800 million. 12 years. And you can see the dividend, the ministerial complex, the Jackson Fiado Memorial Regional Referral Hospital, the road leading from Red Light straight to the Guinea-Liberia border, the road leading from ELW straight to the Bikena, the port city of Bikena, 88 kilometers. Let me tell you something. 1.2 billion just in 5 years. The only thing you see are the mansions of George Weah, Clyde Weah, Samuel Twain, the rest of them. All of the guys, 1.2 billion. If you give the man another 6 years, we will be in the same debt that President Sally managed to alleviate. The man will go even go beyond. Will be having.
So can you guys satisfy the Liberian now by going there to talk to them, because the radio discussion is one aspect and convincing people to vote for your candidate is another one.
I just returned.
You're doing the Jehovah's Witness kind of house to house something.
I just returned. That's what we're doing, Joe. I just returned from Noutoua Wandah County.
Okay.
This is why we're telling our people that President Weah has failed miserably. He has distributed poverty across the country. He has inflicted the people with pain, agony, and suffering. The people are soliloquizing in the street. Have you seen somebody walking the jet talking?
Okay. The line is so bad of his. Okay.
Do you know how much for a cartoon of soldiers is $7,000? It used to be 3,000.
Okay, Ibe, let me hold you there. Because we're going halfway the mark. I got other things to do before I close up on this on topic today. So I want to say thank you again very much for taking the time of your busy schedule to actually talk back to us with respect to concerns that have to do with the Costa and your standard bearer.
Well, it's my pleasure. I have a lot on my plate, but we can arrange some.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I look forward to more of these. I look forward to more of these engagements. This government is a rogue government. It's a failed government. they lie to the people. The Liberian people are resolved. They're not going to elect them. Mr. George Weah and his lieutenant will be audited and prosecuted for looting this country, and they will be prosecuted.
Okay, these are all allegations. You must prove it when the time do come. All right, you must prove when the time do come.
The things are proven. You see the Nazi resident.
Okay, sir. I don't have the luxury of time, so let's call it a quit. Let's call it a quit because I don't have the time. I don't have the time there, so I beg you. I'm gonna have with the line, so I have other things to do before I take off the time on this discussion. So thank you very much, Abel Blackie, for being over there today for me today. Thank you very much. That was Abel Blackie. He was my second guest to close up for the guest segment on our show today. So the program is ABC Hard Talk, and my name is Joe Noutoua Wandah. Yes, in the next 20 minutes, I just thought to talk on something, and something that very much need attention in our nation to close up on this program today, the Thursday edition of our all-important program. That has to do with something, but let's take the quick break. When we come back, trust me, when we come back from this break, given the next 20 minutes, I will be talking about something very, very important to your understanding for the survivability of this nation called Liberia. So be my guest as I take this quick musical break. Making the time 26 minutes up to 6 o'clock in the city of Monrovia. And of course, my name is Joe Wandah, and the program is ABC High Talk. Yes, to conclude today's production, I just thought to come back to you all with respect to what is unfolding in our country called Liberia. People of Liberia, it is sad to note that we are our own problem. What am I talking about? Tuesday, I remember when I was driving through to come and do the Tuesday edition of this program, from our fast at LPRC up to the two bridges. No car coming, no car going. Car going, but no car coming. I tried to inquire what was the situation. They said one container truck broke down to slave way every day. I said, my goodness. I got a detour. I went back to Freeport, took the Somalia Drive, the freeway, Jebeni Freeway, and passed through just to come to from Freeport to come right here to ABC studio. I have to take additional 1 hour plus going around the Cape. Pass through Pinsville, Ghannasville, Cinco before getting down to Central Monrovia. All because of one defective truck that gave up. So the question now that lingering in my mind is, are our police and that of the Ministry of Transport only interested in seeing your driver license, or better still, the car's document, and not interested in knowing the roadworthiness of the cars that we ride in? People of Liberia, we are all sitting on a time bomb, listening to what happened yesterday, and most of you saw it on video, most of you read in the papers. I felt so disenchanted, downhearted. If I would borrow the word from one of our former senator, flabbergasted, that Ibe Masale. I mean, words are inadequate to really give the adjective I want to use with respect to what unfolded in Liberia yesterday. And that's not the only one. I understood on the freeway again, I have a freeway, keke accident, motorbike accident. Why are we allowing keke and motorbike to apply the streets, the major street of Monrovia? Those guys got no basic training. Anytime they can hurry, just grab a motorcycle, grab a keke, they on Broad Street. They move. Where are the no-goes area? Where are the no-go area? You don't find them any longer. You see any kind of car. I see people, bosses in this town, their doors are facing to the center link of moving vehicle. So when passenger getting off, they have to get off to incoming vehicle. You got to blow horn or ought to pull your head outside and start shouting, I come yo, you're moving the road. What kind of country is this? What is happening to us as a people? Why are we just like this? Just this morning, climbing down Johnson Street Hill, another reckless keke rider just came from the what you call it, the Ashmore Street and the opposite Access Bank. Just jumped before me, man. It just took the grace of God. Oh, my people, I would have cleared that guy up with the people sitting in a car there this morning. Trust me, but God didn't allow that to happen to me. That was not my fate. We got reckless all on our streets, man. No respect for pedestrians, no respect for commuter, no respect for, just anything on the street of Monrovia. What is going on with this nation? Look what happened yesterday. The truck broke down right around the total gas station area there. And when they got through fixing it, the driver decided to move on with building materials in the car. Or open back truck, man. And look at the end of the day, what happened to the truck? The truck, from what I heard, there was an explosion within the truck, and the guy lost control. Hitting just any visible things before him, man, to kill a police officer who just got married recently. I honestly, he's a very good friend of the president. Hey, my people. Then a child right before his school day, the African Dream child, school day, shouting on the car, yelling, crying, I'm dying, my people. And people just got their camera in their hand taking video. Instead of going to the rescue of the people, you don't even have any fire service car around that area. You don't have nothing to put a fire up. Man, people of Liberia, why are we allowing the dangers? And guess what? I am told reliably that the American embassy gave they warned the police that they shouldn't allow these vehicles to ply the principal street of Monrovia, meaning the big trucks, the container trucks, or the any big truck for that matter, any big vehicle for that matter, or trucks. They should ply out of the Japanese freeway to go to by way of what you call it, a man back and what have you. All my information is saying. And the police refused to heed to those concerns raised by the American embassy. What are we doing to this nation? When a policeman stop you, all he asks for, let me see your license. The next thing, let me see your car document. That's all they ask for. The next thing that follow, some kind of charge or charges coming back. They don't care to find it from you. Put your light on. Let me see. Try your weapon. Try your, your hazard light, with the blinker, the left and right. Let me see. Try the brake smart. Let me see. Put your parking light on. They are not concerned at all. Nobody. I am telling you, since I came back to this country, I have not seen a policeman that will flag me down and say, let me check your engine, open your hood, let me see how it look like. Let me see in your car, the interior of your car, let me see how it look like. Let me see whether you're wearing shoes to drive or not. I never saw any policeman doing it. These are rules laid down that's supposed to be carried on by our police, precisely the traffic division of the Liberia National Police. But to our utmost surprise, my people, These things are yet to come. Look what happened yesterday. And I just one out of the 1,000 that happened just yesterday around the country. You got defected troops along the way on the Ravi road or accident upon accident. You can see it every time because people run there carelessly. Then when you go on the Kakata Morea highway from Kakata straight out to Banga Nima, forget it. Go see on the road what's going on there because the road that expert road. Go see what happening there. The police doing nothing about it. What is happening, my people? What is happening to Liberia? Why have we gone so bad off the day with ourselves? Why have we forgotten ourselves that we need to survive? When you talk it, then people will say, but I expect people to survive. And when you started putting that around the street of Monrovia, how were they surviving before motorbike business came by? How were they surviving before Keke came over? How were they surviving before the old trucks and buses, killer bean buses, some of them ain't got brakes? You're bringing them to the city center. How were they surviving before the buses came? Hey, people of Liberia, what is going on with us as a people? Today's a monologue in studio. I alone there talking about it. Yeah. You say, what are you talking about? I'm talking about the insensitivity of our people, the way we do things in this nation. We are very insensitive to our own plight. We allow these cars to move about, these trucks to move about. I don't have good brakes. Don't have the other brakes. You got to pump it almost like 100 times before you can hold. People of Liberia, before we get to realize our potentials, future leaders, they are all gone. Trust me, the young people dying. Before the country can get to realize we have lost potential people. Because on a daily basis, human beings have been killed by motor accident. If not keke, that motorcycle, that's some kind of defective truck, not defective truck, that's some kind of something that will kill somebody every day. What kind of country are we? Are we thinking about it? It's sad. Look at that young boy, that young, little, smart, brilliant, a genius that died like that. Right before his school, man. I understood when the car collided with the keke, he tried running out of it, but something hook his shed and drag him back on the car. Oh, my people, to see yourself burning to ashes, man. 7 human beings that left their home to go attend to something for the survivor die without no reason, all because of our recklessness. And my information I'm getting, if this is student police, you got to work around the clock. I'm understanding, Mr. Police Director, that your traffic police allow the 40-foot 40-foot container. I think that $40. Then the smaller one, is $10, $20. I mean, for them to pass. Now, what I'm hearing, Mr. Police Director, if it is lie, please let your spokesperson be able to hold a press conference and say that lie. My people are not taking money from any, a container truck to enter the city center or to go to no-go zone and what other places. If you ask me my honest opinion on what I'm talking about, I will simply say to the people of Liberia, the police in particular, allow the various container trucks to ply the street of Monrovia after 6 o'clock in the evening, or better still, after 7. At that time, people going home with their small cars, only fewer cars running on the road now. Allow them to come and discharge their goods with a police escort, well-armed police escort, before the armed robber take over them. If you ask me my opinion, because I can't just come and talk and without giving the solution. These are some of my solutions. And let's go back. It need be to call Abraham Kroma, Mr. Police Director. You're calling to serve as a consultant. Nothing wrong. He's a Liberian that got the expertise and he know how to run behind criminal. He know how to control the motorbike boy, or how you call it, keke boy. He knows how to control them. Bring him as a consultant that he help in that direction, man. People, we need the best for this country. Let us stop politicking in security matter, politicking in the survival of the people, because politics cannot put food on my table. Whether he served Joseph Jingin Rawa, that is inconsequential as I speak. Bring him back. We need people to help us to survive. You know what I mean? All die before the election. Who will vote your politician? Who will vote you? Nobody. Because the potential voters are going. The keke, the old troops, and why have you killing them on a daily basis before we can reach October? You might have the population gone just from accident. Oh. We got to be careful. We got to be careful because it is becoming unbecoming. It ain't gonna be young expectation and it's gonna be young control from what I see, where I sit. I'm a driver too on the street, I'm a rover. I know what I'm talking about. Those guys either using the 4-letter words on you or they banking your cars and all they want to kill you because they quit to say we'll burn your car, we'll kill you. That's whatever motorcycle boss can say. They're so ruthless and reckless in their activities. They pass anywhere. I don't know what they think that they are more voter than Joe Wandah. No. We all got the same equal right. And we all got only one vote each. So more than one man vote, not more than mine vote. Neither keke man, nor old trop man. So if you stop there, it in no way says that you will not get a vote that you're supposed to have. People, this is getting serious. Politician, if you want to see people in their mass during the election, please wake up to the reality. What is happening in today's Liberia? Before you made up your mind, one of the big shot with a BB car who got security will be there to vote. And when you're finished voting, you can't vote again 2 times or 3 times. You only get 1 chance to vote. When you cast that ballot, you finish. So if care is not taken to make sure we regulate what is happening to this nation in terms of accident, we'll have serious man shortage in terms of election. Take it or leave it. I mean, I've been factual with the discussion. I'm not here to mix my word to make you to feel good, wherever you're sitting. It's better to tell ourselves the bitter truth than the sweet lies. The sweet lies are not taking the nation nowhere before and will not take us anywhere, whether we like it or not. The sweet lies are too many. And look at our status today as a nation. Look at us today. Everything just breaking down in terms of law and order. The man take his old car, just jump on the street, no plate on it, and he running transport, and nobody stop the man to say you defrauding government in terms of revenue. And anybody ready to just put a private car on the street and just roam the street of Monrovia, get money put in their pocket, go and drink beer, and nothing go to government coffers. Those are us. Like today, I got 4 or 5 days from my car registration to be. I would have waited, but I choose to go there directly and I put my what do you call it there. I choose to go there directly and I put my what do you call it there? What do you call it me? My document, I put it in. It made me a good taxpayer. A citizen that comply with the law. But you got people roaming the street of Monrovia, just doing their own thing, their private car, defrauding government and doing everything you can think about. So I thought that we could talk like this. But I'm not taking any calls, so don't think that I'll open line for you to say, oh, yeah, that's true, you're talking this and that. No. I'm not giving anybody the time to call. But what is actually bothering me as a person, as a Liberian, is what I thought to let you all know. It is disheartening to know that Liberians are the cause of their own problem. It's not about the presidency. It's not about the legislature. It's not about even the judiciary or the whoever you may call. It's about ourselves. The way and manner in which we conduct ourselves as a people, as a nation, that what is affecting us today. You can even remove president we are today and bring another president, maybe that came from heaven last night. The same old story with Liberian, because our DNA is just the same. Nothing can change. Every ugly thing, that's the one Liberian condone. What is this? Everybody is a driver. Once I get money in my pocket, I can get driver lesson from where I sit now right now. There's a man a telephone call. My man, oh, that will be ready in 2 hours time. And show India will come in my hand. What I can drive on that. It's 9 times that we say the bitter truth than the sweet lies. People of Liberia, we've been lying to ourselves for too long. So I thought to bring this to your doorstep this afternoon. Wherever you are in Monrovia, be your own security, because most of the cars that you guys are riding in, they are defective. They ain't got good brakes, no good lights. Some of the cars, when they're running, their doors want to fall off. But yet they're passing right before the police station. They're passing right before the Capitol building. They're passing right before the University of Liberia, and nobody flagged them down. We got a serious problem. the accident business. We got to get real and face the facts, because it will keep thinking that, oh, it's a normal thing. This is not normal. It's not normal to have defective cars on the street of Monrovia, one of Africa's oldest independent nation, the oldest capital city in the world, which is Liberia, in Africa, which is Liberia. And you got defective cars still in the day and age. You talking about the millennium, 2,223 years now. And we still got defective cars that ain't got good brakes in the country. We're still talking about, oh my, people of Liberia, we got to wake up. Oh. We got to wake up. The clock is clicking. Clack, click, clack, click, clack, click. What will we tell ourselves tomorrow when the day of reckoning do come? When we dare to give account of our stewardship, what will we tell God tomorrow? Because He gave everybody from Asia to Africa, from Africa to America, from America to Europe, from Europe to go to Australia. He gave all the same 24 hours. Others are better using their own, the same old senses in everybody's head. What happened to us as Liberians? Are we not using our own? Complacency has sat in, and we just are we just what we are. Well, it's so sad to say. I will conclude there. Like I said, I'm not taking calls. I just thought to drive us home with these few words of caution. Talk to the keke when you ride with him, because they got a habit. They will connive with motorcycle rider, no criminals. They're jacking people back, and the keke rider is part of the plan. They're jacking people back and walking around. Please be your own security. When you sit there with me, I'm encouraging all mothers, sisters, and daughters, and wives, and whatever you are, please, y'all forget it too much faction back when you're walking around Monrovia town, especially riding keke and motorbob, the back of motorcycle. Those guys, they are organized crime between the keke and that of the motorcycle. They jack your bag and they go to the share wherever it's inside at the end of the day. It's an organized crime. It's not deceit. I have seen it, and we all know about it. It's an open secret. So if you still, y'all with me, y'all want to hang 2-3 back on y'all, well, sorry for your wahala. If I see you with the bruises on your skin, I will just say, thank God you didn't die, but sorry for the wound on your skin. Y'all learn from their mistakes. These guys are serious, jacking people things 24/7 now. So on that note, I want to say thank you all very much for being part of our discussion today. The next time you hear my voice will be on what do you call it? It will be somewhere around next Tuesday. The way I will be seated here. But tomorrow, Theo Williams and that of Anthony Jeffan will be here to close up the week on this important platform. My name is Joe Noutoua Wandah. Have a pleasant evening. And let's close up with this jazzy tune that I would show you will actually enjoy as we part from here. Until then, have a pleasant evening and stay tuned to ABC Radio for more programming.
Some people live